Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today, as you can tell by the title, it's going to be a video on how to advance as a Toyota tech and how to grow as a tech and move up the ranks a little bit faster than anybody else. This video is going to be very opinionated because it's what's worked for me, or I've been to 3 different shops. It's what I've seen throughout 3 different shops. The reason I've been to 3 different shops is I moved out of state. I went to one shop, it didn't work out. It was a Toyota dealership. So I went to another one and I really loved that dealer. It was a great dealer. And then I moved back to my home state, and now I'm at the original dealer that I started with. So I have a little experience with a lot of people who have moved up the ranks and have climbed the ranks. I'm one of the people who have climbed the ranks as well. So I'm going to be giving you guys advice and tips of what worked for me and what I've heard from other techs that have worked for them. Again, this video is going to be very opinionated. It's what I see, it's what I feel, it's what I think. Obviously, everyone's going to have different thoughts on this. So just, take this with a grain of salt. If you find something to be helpful, great. If not, sorry. Other than that, if you guys do have any comments or concerns or questions, leave them in the comments down below. That'd be appreciated. Also, if you have any ideas for further future videos, I'd also appreciate that if you want to leave them down below. So let's get into it. I have about, I think it's 8 steps here which I think are very important for moving up in the ranks. For me, number 1 is going to be on time. This is going to be the biggest one for me. I really think this is the biggest one to advance your growth in the industry or the dealership that you're working in. This not only relays on clocking in on time, but when you get in the habit of clocking in on time and you're on time to work, obviously your foremans are going to rely on you. They're going to trust that you're going to be there. And it makes you look better, because if you're trusted to be there on time every single day, it's going to make you look better and they're going to appreciate it a lot more. And when you do that every single day, it kind of relates to your ROs as well with promise times. If you're on time every day, clocking in 5-10 minutes early, and you're in that process every day of just getting ahead and being on time, your ROs are going to be on time. And when your ROs are on time, you have happy customers, happy riders, happy foremen, happy service directors, happy everybody. And you have a good star above your head, and people look at you like you can get stuff done and on time. So we'll move on to number 2. Number 2 for me, this is another big one, is be diligent. What I mean by that is don't rush. Don't rush your ROs, especially starting out. Let's say you move from the Lubrac to the line, or if your dealership is Lubrac to XM Pro, and then the line. Don't rush right when you get there. I've seen a lot of people rush and they break something if they're pulling off the door panel and they don't know, there's a tab or a connector to the switch for the window, and they're just trying to rush to get it, in and out fast. They'll yank on that door handle and snap that wire or the connector. They break something. Don't rush. Take your time. If you take your time, again, there's gonna be no comebacks. It's gonna be good for you, because then you'll be making more money. So, take your time, don't rush. Part of being diligent is being clean. What I mean by that is, yeah, we are technicians and we do get dirty. We're dealing with oil, trans fluid, grease, grime, you name it. We're dealing with all that. But what I mean by be clean is just try to make sure your uniform is clean and your hands are clean. If your hands aren't clean, make sure to wash them or put gloves on before getting to customer's car. The way I see it is the customer is spending anywhere from $160 an hour to $200 an hour for the hourly rate. The least we can do is keep their vehicle clean. Again, you're gonna have a happy customer. You won't have any complaints. So that'll look good for you, for foremans, riders, service managers, whatever. If you keep your car clean that you're working on, that looks good. So, make sure you have no huge oil stains on the sleeve of your shirts if you're wearing sleeves, or like if you have this, I wear sleeves, so I make sure my sleeves are clean. But sometimes if you roll your sleeves up, you get your arm dirty. It happens. Just try to make sure you're clean, make sure your hands are clean, so when you're touching the steering wheel, it's not getting dirty and the customer has something to complain about. That's something that's really big. Another thing is part of being diligent is being organized. So don't lose ROs, don't lose your tools, parts, bolts, customers' keys. It does happen. That's why I'm saying it. Just be diligent, be mindful of what you're doing, the promised time. Make sure you're getting the job done quickly, but also efficiently and with quality. Those are the big things. Number 3, I have my own opinions on this. Again, you guys might think different about it. I think number 3 for me is going to be buy your own tools. Yes, everyone buys their own tools, but not everyone buys their own special tools and tools that they don't feel like they need to buy, but they need to buy. So for me, my rule, and I got this rule from actually one of my coworkers, is the 3 limit rule. If you find yourself borrowing the tool from somebody 3 times, you need to buy the tool. Let's say you borrow that tool from somebody and they call in, you're not expecting it, and you have a job and you can't find somebody who has that same tool. Well, now you're screwed. So buy your own tools, make sure your toolbox is full so you can properly do your job. Our job relies on tools, so have your own tools. Don't rely on anyone else providing your tools, because also your coworkers will get annoyed if you constantly ask them, hey, do you have this tool, do you have that tool, can I borrow this tool, can I borrow that tool? Because we all have the same opportunity to buy the same tool, because the tool truck pulls up to the same dealership. You have the same opportunity as me or your partner, your coworkers, to buy the same tool. So buy your own tools so your toolbox is filled and you can properly do your job quickly and efficiently without having to rely on anybody else. Number 4, I really like this one that I wrote down. I probably should have put this as number 1, because for me, I think it's one of the biggest ones, is don't be afraid to ask questions. This kind of ties back into, not rushing, especially starting out. Ask questions. You don't know what you're doing. Like I said, I'm 2 years into this industry, coming up on 2 years. I still don't know what I'm doing sometimes, and I'm not afraid to ask questions. It humbles you. Don't be afraid of, that somebody might think you're stupid. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Also, asking questions, if you're, Toyota tech and you have TIS and you look up how to replace a timing cover, there might be steps there that TIS lists that you can skip completely, or pulling out a transfer case or anything. There could be 2 or 3 steps that TIS indicates you doing that might take a lot more time than what's paid. But if you ask questions, say, hey, I don't know if I need to do this, technician might have done it 3 or 4 times before you and say, you know what, you don't need to do that. This is how you do it. This is how you quickly do it. And you're flagging more hours that way. Another thing for don't be afraid to ask questions is you're not going to break things, and you're going to get things done right, and you're going to have happy customers. You're going to have happy everybody. So don't be afraid to ask questions. It's the biggest thing. Next one I'm going to say, kind of, they both tie in together. Number 4 was don't be afraid to ask questions, and number 5 is you can learn from anyone. So number 4 and 5 is don't be afraid to ask questions, and you can learn from anyone. Is everyone and anyone can learn from anybody. Nobody is better than anyone. There might be some lube tech who knows a master tech from another shop and learned a lot of tips and tricks from him that I might be able to learn from him, or an expert or a master level might be able to learn from them, and vice versa. Lube techs can learn a lot from masters, experts, certified, whatever it is. Everyone can learn everything. Everyone can learn something from anyone. Perfect example, when I was at the other state that I worked at, a Toyota dealer, somebody was a technician for 8 or 9 years, and a simple oil change on a Prius where it has a hole on the skid plate that says for service. You pull that back, get a screwdriver, you stick that screwdriver in, and it gets the little panel out of the way. He's never seen that, heard of it, or anything, and he's been in the industry for 8-9 years. I've only been in it coming up in 2 years. He learned something from me, I learned something from him. So again, don't be afraid to ask questions, and you can learn from anyone. So learn humility, be humble, don't be afraid to teach somebody a tip or two, and don't be afraid to receive advice here and there, because it all just makes us better techs, so we can advance together and flag more hours. Number 6 on my paper is going to be another good one. Learn and know your product. If you learn and know your product, you're flagging more hours. You already know what oil it takes, torque specs, on any job that you do, any kind of diff fluid, anything like that, you know what to do. Especially if a customer comes in and they say, hey, my radio's not working, and it goes on and off, on and off, on and off, and you're getting paid 1 hour diag. Immediately you know your product, you've seen it before, you know it's most likely you need an update on the head unit. You go straight to that, you find the head unit software, and you find that the software is an older model and it's got to be updated. Right away you do that, you're out, in and out within the hour. If not 30-40 minutes in, you get paid an hour, and you're good to go. That's knowing and learning your product. You know what sockets to use, what air impact guns to use, wrenches, whatever on a certain job you do, because you know your product. You can grab it really quick, you already know what you need, you don't have to spend time looking through your box, and you get the job done quicker, faster by learning and knowing your product. And that's with any brand, Toyota, you know, Subaru, Mazda, Ford, Dodge, it doesn't matter. Know and learn your product. Number 7, this one's gonna be more for Lube Tech and TXM Pro that are trying to grow to Lube to TXM Pro, or Lube to the main shop, or TXM Pro to main shop, whatever it is. This is more for those guys. For me, when I was a Lube Tech and TXM Pro, I just kept my head down. What I can advise you guys is keep your head down and do your work, and work as hard as you can. It will be noticed. You may think it's not being noticed, but it will be noticed. Just keep your head down, do as many ROs as you can with as little comebacks as you can. No comebacks obviously is the best thing, but nobody's perfect. Sometimes things just happen. So work your ass off, push forward, push hard, keep your head down, don't get into politics, don't get into drama, just keep working and keep working with the goal in mind to get to that next level. It will be noticed. Always ask for work. Never complain about any work given to you. What I mean by that is there's never no work at the dealership. So if you absolutely have no work when you hit L, or you locate a job, or there's no work to dispatch if you're on a dispatch system, ask your foremen for work. They might have you throw out tires, they might have you take out trash, it doesn't matter. Ask for work, do the work, because if you're the only one asking for work, it shows that you care, shows that you want to learn and grow and work. They're going to remember when it's time to move people up, they're going to remember the person who works hard, keeps their head down, is always asking for work and looking for work. So if you do that, you're number one in their head when it's time for growth. So ask for work even if there's no work, and then if there's no work the foreman's giving you, then that's cool. Now you can kick back, relax, joke with your guys, hang out, have a bite to eat, a snack, whatever it is, but don't stop hitting out. Even though you're relaxing and everything, don't stop hitting out. Always constantly work, make sure you're working. Again, it's a competition to get to the main shop. So beat the other lubers, beat the other TXM pros efficiently with quality. Again, I can't stress enough, keep your head down, work hard, and it will be noticed. For me, I was 3 months on the lube rack, right around there, kept my head down, worked, asked for work nonstop, moved to TXM Pro really quick. From TXM Pro is like another 3 months, and I went straight to the line. So just keep asking for work. Number 8 is the last one, is the E-modules for Toyota. I'm not sure how every other dealership is, but for Toyota, get your E-modules done. It will send you to class faster, and it'll show that you actually care and that you want to grow. So have all your E-modules done. I'm, like I said, almost 2 years in, coming up like on a month to 2 years, and I have all my E-modules done for all the E-modules available, and all the certified expert, master, MDT. I have every single E-module done. Whenever there's a new one posted, I get it done. That way, you know, it shows that I care, and it's also another, you know, referencing back to number 6 of learning and knowing your product. When you do your E-modules and you care, you learn to know your product through your E-modules, and it transfers over to work. So that's really all I have for this video. It's just kind of a quick video on how to grow. Like I said, this is an opinionated video. It's my opinion. It's what I think. It's what I see. So again, if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them on the comments below. Or if you have any suggestions for new videos, please leave them down below. Again, I'm going to keep trying to post as much as I can. I do have a couple of videos that I do want to post here in the near future. Otherwise, thank you all for checking out another one of my videos. I will see you guys on my next video.